Have y'all ever watched a show that literally nobody knows and you saw it and thought it was really fucking good? Well, you're looking at the master right here. When it comes to animation, I'm a connoisseur of shorts. Shorts. I know all the dimes that you think nobody else has seen, and you can quiz me on that. But you're not here to hear me talk about my knowledge of animation. No, you're here to see the gems hidden in the very center of the earth. You're here for some of the most underrated shows of our generation, and you're ready for me to put you on to some peak. Or you saw one of your favorite shows in the thumbnail and clicked it. That works too. Anyway, it's time to start. We're gonna go from easy to know gems to stuff you probably ain't even heard of. If you know all the ones I'm finna show, let me know in the comments so I can get you a Chick-fil-A sandwich. You've earned it. And you're totally gonna get it. Totally. Now this show came out this year on Netflix, if I remember correctly, and nobody on the face of the earth has talked about it. I heard about it from a YouTuber and I waited patiently for it to drop. And when it did, I finished it in one day. And I gotta say, it's a pretty solid show. Not gonna say it's not rough around the edges. There's a couple unresolved plot things that I would hope they plan to solve in season 2, if we are getting to season 2, but who knows with Netflix, bro. But basically, if you haven't heard about it, it's about this show where this girl develops fire powers. Let me be more specific. She discovers her fire powers as a kid, and it's due to some stuff her grandmother did lore-wise. I'm not gonna spoil if you haven't seen it. And she pretty much becomes infamous in her hometown for burning the shit down on Seth Rollins. She ends up moving to Korea before getting hunted down by some demons who's after her powers and are working for the main show of the fuck are you talking about, nigga? The main villain of the show, Mr. Ching. Some stuff happens and Jentry moves back to her hometown with her grandma. She goes through some real ups and downs, and Mr. Ching tries to get her powers, and she tries to pretty much settle back into her new hometown, all her friends, all that shit. That's pretty much the gameplay loop. But let it be known, it's much deeper than this. This is a surface level fucking abstract. I suggest if you haven't seen it, go give it a watch. But be warned, at some point you're gonna get pissed off. God, so be aware of that. The show's pretty charming though. Gentry's really likable as a main character. Michael is the GOAT, and there's this other character I'm not gonna name in the main cast, but if you've seen it, you know he's weird as fuck. I don't care if he did some heroic shit, he's still weird. Yeah, you know if you've seen the show. The animation is really good. I mean, some of these fight scenes are absolutely fucking chefed up. And last but not least, Jentry be fucking dripped out every episode. Like, she actually changes her clothes like a real human being. Her fits be fire as hell, except for one. That shit was kind of ass. But I just might not see the vision. Maybe I'm just hating. I like talking about this show because it's a fun show. Is it perfect? Nah. But if you've seen it, you know it has the potential to be perfect. It's a show about this girl, Andy, being born in a world full of wrestlers. Just think of like heroes from My Hero or One Punch Man, and it's pretty much the same, but they're called wrestlers. Andy is born as the opposite of a wrestler and accountant. It was a kid show at first, bro. And she pretty much starts to train to become a wrestler and beat the odds. This is a very bare bones explanation, because the journey that Andy goes on is one that feels like something from an early Cartoon Network show, like those shows that just keep making new stories forever, like with fucking Craig of the Creek. The show oozes inspiration. Like, you can definitely see that as a story, somebody has been wanting to make this shit since they were a kid. Like, they was doodling that shit on the notebook during class, and it's fucking fire. The story itself doesn't get like too deep till later, but keep in mind, the first season was made for Cartoon Network, even though it moved to Adult Swim. Also, this is probably the show on this list that's more of an acquired taste than just flat out good, no objections. If you don't like it, or it's just alright to you, that's entirely understandable. The show's fights are like really amazing for something so low key. Just fucking look at this shit, bro.
Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute detail.
If that don't make you want to watch it at least a little bit, I don't think you should sit with this at the cool kids table. No offense. Honestly, I feel like this show needs a chance. Like, knowing Adult Swim, they may or may not do something with it. I mean, they had to have saved it for a reason. Like, I hear from a source, the source being a person on Instagram, but they don't normally get stuff wrong. So take it with a grain of salt. If you want any real confirmation, you gotta DM this nigga, because I tried, but I got Lil Broad. I think the show's getting a season 2. But like I said, you gotta hit this nigga up and try to get him to reply, because what the fuck are his sources? I say that to say, if the show comes back on Adult Swim timing and gets to go darker and edgier, we could see some crazy cinematic shit happen. You'd see videos on that shit every week and you couldn't stop me. But that's just a theory, to be honest.
This shit means something to me, man.
I'm gonna be entirely honest with you. If somebody walked up to me and said Pantheon is the greatest show of all time, I wouldn't argue with them. Even I myself am a strong Avatar enthusiast on that part. Pantheon is just such a perfectly written show. It just deserves any type of glaze it gets. There's literally, only if you really nitpick, there's only one flaw in the entire show that I've seen. But if I'm being entirely honest, it wasn't the show's fault. It was more of an exec's fault for not giving them the time to flesh it out. But even then, the show did things so perfectly, you wouldn't even be able to call it out unless you was seriously nitpicking about the show, bro. Like, you just had to have just wanted to hate on it. I'm pretty sure the show recently got added to Netflix, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it. I'm not even going to tell you what it's about. You just gotta trust me and let yourself experience some of the best fiction you've ever seen in your life. Not a lot of shows have me think about it daily after I finish watching it. Pantheon is one of those shows. My rep on the line, if you haven't watched it, and if you somehow in some universe don't like it after watching both seasons, I'll just be the fraud, alright? But trust me, I'm safe. I ain't gonna lie, Cartoon Network was dumb as hell back in the day, bruh. They canceled this show with probably the most potential I've ever seen out of a show. And it was because they didn't know how to make fucking toys. Is we dead ass? I'm gonna get in depth on that in a second. But this show is probably the show most people watching this video have never heard of. Because one, it's wiped off the face of the fucking earth. It's not on any streaming platform. Nobody talks about it. The presence is just gone. But if you haven't seen it, I give you full permission to watch it using a pirate site. It's just that good. You know the nigga who made Samurai Jack, Genndy Tartakovsky? He made this show. And if I'm being honest, it's probably the best show he's made. I know, crazy statement, but you wanna know something? Talk to the hand, nigga. The show is about 3 people who escape their home planet as it's being conquered, and they make it to Earth. Now they gotta adapt to Earth as everyday teenagers and use powers they've been given from their home planet to try and take their planet back. The initial gameplay loop is that the person who conquered the planet will send aliens down to Earth and try to kill them to make sure there's no resistance against them. And they typically form this giant mech to fight against their villains each week, but I'm gonna be honest, bro. These niggas just be throwing hands sometimes, bro. The hand-to-hand fights just be insane. Like, any fight scene with Lance is absolutely insane because this nigga be putting the beaters on anybody every second he gets, and he just be aura forming. Like, I feel like we didn't get enough of this show, to be honest, bro. Like, we could have saw more with these characters in this world, but Cartoon Network just canceled it because they couldn't sell toys. Had to be the dumbest cancellation ever, and they just wrote it off as a tax write-off. So if someone wanted to bring the show back, they have to jump through some serious fucking hoops. I'm gonna make this promise right now. In my lifetime, I'm going to see the 2nd season of Sym-Bionic Titan. If don't nobody else do it, I'll do it myself.
I don't want to hear another word. You're a disgrace to the game, Yugi.
And yeah, that's pretty much all I've got today. Let me know any more. Let me know about Let me know any more underrated shows in the comments, and I'll make a part 2 with those if they're really good. And if y'all like this one, yeah, thanks for 100 subscribers. I know that's not a lot, and I know mostly people who watch this video don't care, but it matters to me because that's a bunch of people, bro. That's enough to fill up a fucking auditorium, bro. So, you know, I thank you guys, and I'm gonna keep making videos. Try to be more.
Is this nigga serious?
I'm gonna try to be consistent. I know I'm not very, like, I post like every 4 or 5 days, but I'm gonna post as much as I can, and hopefully you come back and watch. Otherwise, I'm going to Omni-Man your shit. But yeah, hope y'all like this one. I'm out.